everyone, and happy Thursday to you. Hold on, I'm probably a little dark as I'm in the office opening windows. The sun is finally out here in south central Pennsylvania. It's been so yucky, just yucky, but we finally got some sunshine today. And it's not damp for once, so I can finally open, because I've been running my air conditioner just because of the dampness. So I can finally open windows again. So anyway, like I said, it's Thursday. I didn't do anything yesterday that was even remotely interesting to film. So that's why you didn't hear from me. Today, I wasn't going to film anything today either, because I spent most of my day at a funeral. But being at this funeral got me thinking about a couple things. Sorry, it's like 5 o'clock. Mike's going to be home in 15 minutes. And I'm just getting myself kind of like situated, so I have to talk and walk at the same time. I didn't finish folding my laundry. All right, okay, hold on. I'm going to put you guys... Okay, hopefully this is on. Hold on. Yep, I think we're good. So anyway, I wasn't going to vlog today because I really wasn't doing anything today except going to a funeral. And then tonight we're just eating up leftovers because it's Thursday night, and tomorrow I do my shopping. But I felt like I needed to just make a video just to let you know how I'm feeling. This funeral wasn't for anybody that was super close to me. It was a gentleman who was, hold on, the dog wants held. Oh, you needy little thing. You're needy. Yes, you're needy. The gentleman that passed away went to school with my mom and my dad. And if you aren't familiar with my past videos, my parents are divorced. They went to school together. I was an accidental pregnancy, and my parents ended up getting married when my mom was 17, and they divorced by the time my mom was 21. So anyway, this gentleman went to school with my parents, and he also got married kind of young. Not because of an accidental pregnancy, just he fell in love young. So when my mom and dad were married, and this guy Jim and his wife were married, they were good friends. They both had kids around the same time, me being one, and then they had a son, and like a year after I was born. Anyway, they used to, do things together as couples, and then young families. And they stayed in contact with each other periodically over the years. And if you're from the United States, you're probably familiar with the JC's organization that does community work. And this guy was president of the JC's, as well as being named President of the Year or something, or Commander of the Year, or anyway, some big award the year after my dad was president of the JC. So I had seen him, even after my parents divorced, I had seen him and his wife and family through the JC's organization. Long story short, he was diagnosed with cancer 3 months ago. They tried to fight it, and he just passed away over the weekend. So the service was today. They were one of those couples that fell in love young, had a family, 2 kids, and stayed together and were madly in love till the very end. And they talked about that during the funeral service today. And then each of the 2 children, plus some of the grandchildren, took turns speaking at the service about what their dad and their boppy, as they called him, instead of grandpa, he was called boppy, to let the rest of the congregation, or the people that were there, to let them know how important he was in their lives. And if you watch my previous videos, you'll know that I don't have a real good relationship with my father. He's very distant. I see him once or twice a year if I'm lucky. He lives about 100 miles from here, so it's a good 2-hour drive to go see him. He's retired, and I know some of you are thinking, well, then why don't you just go see him? And I'm not trying to come up with excuses, but keep in mind I just quit working, and the years before that I worked every single weekend of my life because I worked for an airline. And then my husband had off on weekends. So we literally, for the last several years, until I quit work, my husband and I had no weekends off together. On the other hand, my father never made an attempt to come see me. It was one of those, it's not that we don't like each other, we just don't have a close relationship. And I have 2 girls, and he doesn't have a close relationship with my kids. Now, I'm an only child, and they're his only grandchildren, and he really never, like, got involved in our lives at all. And again, I'm not bitter, it's just, it is what it is, and I understand that. But I'm sitting through the service today, and I'm listening to the kids and the grandkids of this gentleman that passed away go on and on about how wonderful of a man he was and how much of an example that he was, how he never missed a sporting event or an activity event for his kids or his grandkids. Even at the very end, on oxygen and in a wheelchair, he wasn't missing sporting events for these grandchildren. And again, this was a death that came on quickly. They had 3 months from diagnosis till death to come to terms with what was going to happen. Even as he was fighting it, they kind of knew. And I didn't have a why me attitude, but it got me thinking that I didn't experience something like that, and I couldn't identify with it. So I'm sitting there with tears coming to my eyes thinking, wow, I just can't imagine what that's like, because my children are never going to be able to say that either, that they had a grandpa that never missed anything and was so supportive and did so much for them and was such a good example, because my dad's not a good example either. And, you know, as far as my YouTube subscribers, none of my family and friends know that I have this YouTube channel, so the chances of this getting back to my dad are slim to none at this point. Nor should I be ashamed of saying this stuff, because it's all true. And I had a stepdad, but you know, it's just not the same when it's not your dad. And there are plenty of people out there that don't even know their dad. I get it. I don't want pity. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to express my feelings, and that I was so touched by how these people talked about their father and grandfather that it just was so beautiful, and that there are still some awesome, good family men out there. And my husband is one of them. You know, my kids will be able to say that their father never missed an event of theirs, with the exception of when my youngest was running cross country. Some of those meets were right after school at 3 o'clock, and he just couldn't get away from work to come, but I was always there. But my husband has been a true family man with my kids. Now, my kids don't want any children of their own, so we won't have the grandchildren to say that. But then I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, this family has stayed together in the same small town their entire lives. And here I am. This guy was 64 as he passed away. And his whole life, he stayed in the same small town, met his wife there, raised his kids there. His kids are still there. His grandkids are there. And he even has a great-granddaughter who's there. So I'm 46, and my kids are 1,000 miles away. And I would never ask them to move back here, because like I said before, York's just not, it's not a good place to live anymore, and there's no opportunities here for them. But now I'm so torn right now, because I want so bad to be down in Florida with my kids. I want our family unit back together in the worst way. But then my husband and I still have parents alive, and they're up here. So we're kind of stuck in the middle. It's like we don't know what to do. We more want to live in Florida more than we want to stay up here. But how do you make the decision of when it's okay to leave your parents? And our kids want us down there. It's not that we'd be invading on them. They are homesick and they want us down there, and they've told us that. This is tough. And I'm an only child, which makes it difficult, because if my mom or my dad gets sick and they need taken care of, I don't have a sibling to share that with me. I have my stepsister to help out with my stepdad, and she's an only child too. So it's difficult, and I'm really struggling. Really struggling with wanting to be together with my family. And I don't have the opportunity right now. But again, I think it's just because I sat through a funeral and listened to this, and I'm more emotional at the moment, and maybe tomorrow I'll just be completely opposite. And I'll be glad I'm here. And I did take my mom to this funeral today because she didn't want to go alone. So I was perfectly fine taking her. I was going to go anyway. So I'm still here to do stuff for my mother. So it's hard. It really is hard. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling at the moment. You have got to get down because I've got to go dig the leftovers out of the refrigerator downstairs and start warming up some dinner for my husband, who's going to be home in about 15 minutes, because I hear my phone dinging over there now, which means he's texting me that he's on his way. So, gonna go dig the leftovers out. I'll be back before the end of the night. I should have my sunglasses on, but you know, sometimes it's nice just having the sun in your eyes. We don't see it much around here, so I'm gonna enjoy it, even though I can barely open my eyeballs. See, we just had leftovers for dinner. Now we're just chilling on the deck before the sun goes down. Okay, Mike and I finished up the leftovers for dinner, so I've finished my meal plan for next week, so I thought I'd go over that with you tonight. So, again, I do my shopping on Fridays, so Thursday night is always leftover night to finish up what we made earlier in the week. So tomorrow, this says Moon Dancer. We're going with our friends to Moon Dancer Winery, which you can take your own food there. You just have to buy your wine from them. So it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, so we're going to eat outside at the winery. And I'm making Italian wraps, and I'm making pasta salad and bruschetta. And my friend is in charge of all of the paper goods, and she's bringing dessert. And she's bringing whatever wraps she wants, but I'm making pasta salad and bruschetta for all four of us. Saturday, we're going to have spaghetti and salad. Sunday, we're going to have pot roast and mashed potatoes. Monday is going to be cod and some vegetables. Tuesday is going to be pork chops and some pinto beans and cornbread. Wednesday, I'm going to make some chicken thighs and some veggies. And again, Thursday will be leftovers. So that's pretty much it. It's like 8:30 Thursday night, so I'm going to cut this video off here. Me and the little boy are just chilling in the living room for the rest of the night. Mike's already in bed. So that's about it. I will see you tomorrow. And it's Friday tomorrow. Yay! Good night.